So my name is Evelyn Costin. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My dad is a pastor at Memorial Tabernacle Baptist Church. Spent our entire days in church. Either we're at church cleaning or we're at church serving. I didn't really learn much about Christ or learn much about church. I just showed up because my dad was a pastor. So 2011, I found out I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. They told me that I wasn't going to be able to carry children. 6 months later, I found out I was pregnant with my first son. I went to the doctors and they said that he wasn't going to live. But I carried him as long as I could. And then when I reached 24 weeks is when he was born. So he lived for 2 weeks. When he passed away, October the 3rd, that was the only time that I was able to hold him. When Amir passed away, I didn't think that God was still with me. So I felt like God gave me something that I prayed for and then just took it away from me. When I had my daughter, Imani, I decided to change careers. So I went back to school for nursing. Found I was pregnant with my son in January of 2018. Then 2 weeks after my son was born, we got evicted out of our apartment. We slept in the car for about 4 nights straight, but then we would go from house to house, but then we would go back to being in the car. But I did it through the winter with my 2 babies. It was house to house, back to the car, house to house, back to the car. So we started sleeping in a vacant house on Cumberland Street. It was a small space, no stove, no heat, no hot water, nothing. It wasn't a week or 2 weeks. It was more like 9 months. Sometimes we would hear the rats running past the door, or they would be like right outside where we were sleeping at. I felt like I was a bad mom because I couldn't provide for my children. And I prayed and I cried and I just kept praying and just kept crying, and I just waited for an answer. But this particular night, I got quiet and I got silent, and I heard God say to me, do not lean on humans. I need you to lean on me, depend on me. And the minute I let go and I actually started trusting and believing in God is when doors started opening. When I was younger, my dad used to come out to Lancaster. He used to preach at one of the churches. It was a pretty city, so why not give Lancaster a try? I looked up shelters in Lancaster, and I came across Clear House. And Friday, I packed my bags and I left Philadelphia. Our first night there, it felt like a breath of fresh air. Us laying there and we prayed, and my babies, what they said to me was, Mom, is this home? And I said yes, because it felt like home. I came from a broken place. So when I started to trust in God and to believe in God and to lean on God, He turned my fear of being a bad parent into faith. I knew that I wanted to find a church home, and I stumbled across LCBC. The church is so big, but once you get to know people, it feels like family. And that's how I feel when I walk in here, because everybody greets me and my babies by our name. They give us hugs. Everybody's so friendly. But more importantly, when I walk in, I feel God. I do. So what I learned about Jesus is I learned if you listen closely, you can hear Him. My name is Evelyn Costin, and I am life changed by Christ.